Oopsies. Hello, welcome back. Let me just get something set up. Oh, there we go. Alright, hello, welcome back to the stream. If it's your first time here, welcome. If it's not your first time here, welcome back. I think since the last stream, we were still at case number 3, the origins of Horus. So we are just gonna continue with that today. Yeah, so we were done with the first part of the trial where we had finally revealed that it was actually a case of murder and not a civil case. Can't remember, a case against like the negligence of the employer and all that. But yeah, it's raining really heavily today outside, so if you do hear me jump sometimes, it would just be because of the lightning and thunder. But outside of that, let's go and continue with episode 3. We start off with a nightmare. Here we go. Clutch the note tightly in your hand as you read it. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There are so many things that I wanted to tell you, so many things that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid I can't do that now. We need to be strong now. The world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving. But I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes, peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Her eyes? Her? It's a her. Oh, his mom. Right, doesn't matter. All you have to do is stop the execution. If you can just distract the knight long enough, you can save her and run away. You have to abandon your home, but at least she'll still be with you. As you try to sprint towards the gallows, a knight grabs your arm and pulls you back. Kid, you come across this point. You fearlessly try to break his grip by striking with your bare hands. Must be about his childhood. But I barely feels anything through his armor. You continue delivering blow after blow to him, but it does nothing. Your knuckles start to bleed. Irritated by your behavior, the knight pins you to the ground. Damn kid. And from this position, you have no choice but to watch what's happening. Gosh, this is really bleak. Oh no, you make eye contact with your mother one last time. Oh, this is a brutal thing. Her body goes limp. You stare blankly at the hanging body. This is really bleak. Clutch a note tightly in your hand. You feel comforting yet fleeting warmth from it. Damn, what a terror. Like, seeing your mom get executed in front of you. That's not gonna be good. You snap back awake. It was another nightmare. You notice that tears are streaming down your face. You realize that Celeste is firmly gripping your hand. Sorry. You were shouting in your sleep, but you seemed to calm down a little whenever I held your hand. So I've been doing that. Aww. You're not. You've been acting weird since we arrived in Oranax. It's nothing. It's not nothing. Does it have something to do with your mother? For the past 2 nights, you've been calling out for her in your sleep. Please, just talk to me. I'm your friend, aren't I? You never even realized it. You didn't have many people in your life after you left Oranax. You only had Miss Tamora, and she never wanted to talk about what happened. But Celeste, she's been there since you started your career. Of course she's your friend. Time we put a little more trust in Miss young Celeste. It all happened a long time ago. We lived here together in that old house. My mother was a merchant and a mage. Wow. But I guess the gift of magic skipped my generation. I could never use it. About 10 years ago, my mother's business partner was found murdered. And they found traces of magic at the crime scene. They thought that your mom did it. Miss Tamara was my mother's defense attorney for the trial. She did everything she could to get her acquitted. but she could never find the real culprit. They found her guilty of first-degree murder. I tried to stop her execution, but your voice starts breaking. I'm sorry, Celeste. Coming back here has brought back so many memories. I thought that I had already moved on from what happened. If I could just keep saving people as an attorney, then maybe I could put all of this behind me. But I'm back in Oranax, and those feelings are still so fresh in my mind. It's like I'm still the same powerless child from 10 years ago. I know that I've been taking that out on you. I'm really sorry. She does, doesn't she? When my dad was murdered, you were there for me. If it weren't for you, I would have still believed that he died hating me. Celeste slowly clasps your hand within hers again. It feels warm and comforting. Has this been the warmth you've been feeling for the last few nights? Aw, something's sparking between the two of them. So just let me be here for you. You can feel yourself dozing off, you have to snap yourself back awake. Sorry, the last few days have been a little tiring. Just focus on falling asleep. I'll stay with you for as long as you need me to. For the first time since you arrived in Oranax, you finally received a good night's rest. You feel almost a little too rested? You feel really reluctant to leave the comfort of your bed. Celeste, are you there? Your hand feels warm. Aww. The art's really good. I really love the art in this. Her eyes slowly open as she wakes from her equally restful sleep. She drowsily scans her surroundings. You both dart out of bed. So you seem to be doing better. You're okay, right? Yeah, thank you for last night. Poor phrasing. Definitely poor phrasing. Hello, are you there, Mr. Cuthbert? What the hell? A soul nearly jumps out of your body. You suddenly hear Asta's voice and it's extremely loud. Oh right, Asta. You look around to see where he is, but he's nowhere to be found. Ah, thank the skilled lord, I finally gotten through to you too. Where are you? Oh, I'm using a spell to speak with you right now. I apologize for contacting you in this manner, but I was worried that something had happened to you too. Anyways, what do you want at this time of day? Time of day? It's 3 PM in the afternoon. Hope everything's okay. Did something happen? Haha. Anyways, if it's already this late, we should head over to the refinery. Right, the investigation. I'll see you at the town square. Alright. You can leave me Asta in the town square while you walk to the refinery. You and Celeste walk to your destination with purpose, a little too much purpose. It's almost as if you both trying to distract yourself from something. Every time you make eye contact with Celeste, she quickly glances away. Things are a little awkward, but you much prefer this over the tense mood between you two yesterday. Wow. How's that spell you used earlier? We'll let you speak with us without being there. That was a conjuration spell. It's called Bend Message. Just feel a little bit uneasy that you can just contact us out of the blue like that. More importantly, you're a little worried about what he might have seen. Don't worry, the spell's perfectly harmless. I can give you the parameters if you'd like. Send message. 1 hour duration. For the duration of this spell, the caster projects their voice to communicate with a target. Anyone within a 30 feet radius of the target can hear the caster's voice. The caster can also hear sounds close to the target, allowing for two-way communication. The target must be a person known to the caster. The person must also be conscious. Otherwise, the spell will fail. Alternatively, the target can be an object that is attuned to the caster's magic. I feel like this is important. You definitely didn't see the embarrassing state that you two were in. Why are you following us? Oh yes. I was still trying to think of the proper method to ask you, but you both seem to be on the edge of the moment. You already told me about the traces of transmutation at the refinery. The trial yesterday really highlighted the significance of that. I can't simply stand by if I was a witness to a murder. He's gonna join us on our investigation. You're questioning his motives for a variety of reasons. He was the only other mage that was at the scene of the crime, and between him and Rika, you definitely trust Rika more. Oh, and yet we're still agreeing to this. I see no reason why not. She nods in acknowledgement. Aster is your prime suspect right now, and he has to be aware of that. But if you keep him close to you, you might catch some dissonant thoughts through the eye. You glance at the damaged walkway and see Commander White there with a few of his knights. He seems to notice you too, but only pays you a passing glance. Mr. Cuthbert, I've been waiting for you. For quite a while, may I add. Sorry about that. I suppose you have your reasons, and you've more than proven yourself worthy of my trust. Although, Rakujin gives Aster a suspicious side glance, he appears to have come to the same conclusion that you did. Well, you've given me little reason to doubt your judgment. I will leave the investigation in your capable hands. Where should we start? You might be able to learn more about the magical traces of the crime scene. You look at Commander White, who is inspecting the walkway. He's probably your best bet for getting more information. Alright. Walkway. What's this silence? Wait, he knows who Aster is. Commander, please don't. What the hell are you two doing with the Crown Prince? I knew it. What? Appears that my cover has been blown, as they say. Did he just say you're the Crown Prince? Yes, my full name is Aster the Wyvern the fourth heir to the throne. He's 26 and has conjuration. What a time. I was hoping that it wouldn't come to this. Oh, sorry. Please, none of that. I would much prefer if you all continue to call me Aster. We've never seen a commander this flustered before. Why did you find a need to hide this from us? I didn't want you to think less of me. I admire your work, Mr. Cuthbert, which is why I was afraid you wouldn't speak with me if you knew the truth. In a way, he was correct to assume that. As a member of the royal family, he represents everything that you and Miss Tomara are fighting against. But he does not look like a sincere... Well, he does look like a sincere and genuine person. At the very least, you haven't seen anything incriminating through the eye of Horus. Anyways, this complicates things greatly. Aster is your primary suspect, so if he did commit the murder, you would have to implicate a member of the royal family. A nobleman is one thing, but would it even be possible to convict the Crown Prince? It doesn't matter who you're facing, be they man, king, or god. Princess aside, you came to talk to the commander about the investigation. He might be more inclined to share details with you. Alright then, let's talk. I thought you were all busy investigating Aster's missing ship. Uh-oh. We wanted to put more of our people there, but Lady Stewart insisted that we focus on the Dracogen case. As you should. I would much rather have you find justice for Justin Way. It's far more important than looking for some musty old ship. And somehow he seems fearful of that statement. Is this kid for real? It's definitely suspicious. The only rails with magical traces on them are these, and the fact that we can still see them means that they were left within the last 48 hours. It's looking pretty likely that someone used transmutation on these rails that night. It still doesn't make sense though. Why would someone weaken these rails specifically? Right, we still haven't gotten down, like, to connecting all of these yet. Someone knew that Justin or some other person would be in this exact place. Oh. We've already investigated, right? Who did? If the liquids are volatile, how are you able to take things out of the vat? Oh, the liquid isn't volatile anymore. Oh, when Harbour Master and I reported what we saw, the workers poured some sort of alchemical solution into the vat. The solution neutralized the evocation magic in those chemicals. It's usually blue. There are refinery workers poured a yellow alchemical solution to the vat. The solution neutralized the destructive magic of the vat liquid and turned it green. If it hadn't neutralized the liquid, everything in the vat would have been completely destroyed. Oh, so I was supposed to... Alright then.
Repario Arcanum!
I guess there's nothing much, let's continue talking. Has the Inquisition found any evidence to prove my theory? You mean about a second person falling into the vat? It ain't that simple. The body of that Justin fella sort of dissolved. Right. If another person had fallen in, their body would have dissolved too, but we could only find some bone fragments, blood, and a lot of metallic shards. Have you been able to use divination magic to identify the bone fragments? The ones we found all belong to Justin Wade. No signs of bones from another person. Ugh, why did they... Gosh, they used like a bone fragment, but I cannot believe this picture. The Inquisition was able to fish out several pieces of bone matter and metallic shards from the vat that Justin Wade fell into. Divination magic confirms that the bones belong to him. None of the bone matter found belonged to another person. Could your theory have been incorrect? Are you sure that you and Morrison saw a person fall into the vat? I didn't recognize who exactly that person was. It wasn't well lit. Do you think the second victim's body fully dissolved? Can't be. Minutes after Justin fell, it wouldn't make sense if that person's body fully dissolved before Justin's. But why can't you find any bone matter of the second person? With the liquid so volatile, how were you able to take things out? Fortunately, it was too late. By the time they neutralized the liquid, Justin's body had almost dissolved. Right. I still can't believe that you've been a crown prince this entire time. Right. Should I call Tyrion over here for you? She'll probably want to see you. I think it would be best if you didn't. Or remember now, if you're the crown prince... now we make the connection. That makes Prosecutor Tyrion your fiancé. Right, Lady Frigga mentioned that during the Nightgrave case. That's why the name Asta sounded so familiar. That Miriam. She caused me so much trouble by publicly revealing my marriage to Lady Tyrion. I hope to keep it a secret for much longer. She's always investigates these crime scenes herself. Oh, she said she wants to investigate the disappearing ship personally. She seems really hell-bent on finding the people responsible. They did attempt to kidnap the Crown Prince after all. I highly doubt that. Why is he sad? Right, our marriage was arranged by our parents well before we were born. She had no say in the matter, and I know that she only tolerates me for the good of our kingdom. Her hands quiver with rage, and she can't even bear to look at me when I speak to her. She may be my fiancé, but our marriage is purely political. She endures so much because of her name. Well, I guess they have their own share of problems. Okay. How do I only have one? Okay, never mind. Let's move to the refinery. Could probably talk to him about the trial. Quite pleased with your work during the trial. I'm glad I put my trust in you. We're still a long way from getting your case dismissed. Ensuring the possibility of a murder definitely made things much more complicated. You merely played the cards that you were dealt. Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of what happened. Do you have any idea who the second victim might be? All of my other employees are accounted for. I doubt that it was anyone who worked for me, but then who was it? Aside from Justin Wade, every employee who works at Arcane Refinery is accounted for. Justin is the only Dracogen employee who fell to the vat of corrosive chemicals. I'm a little concerned with how many unauthorized people were there that day. Yeah, he has a point. It seems strange that Justin, Rika, and Morrison were all there. We spoke with the Inquisition about what they found in the vat, and they could only find bone matter belonging to Justin. Well, that and several metallic shards. That can't be right. No, that's not what I meant. There shouldn't be any solid matter in those vats. No, the refinement process requires that everything in the vat remains a liquid. The solid metal would absorb the liquid magical properties and taint the entire batch. Do you think they came from the broken pieces of the railing? Probably want to double check with the commander to make sure. From what Dracogen said, there shouldn't have been any solid matter in those vats. We've already confirmed that the bone matter they found came from Justin's body, but that leaves another question. How did metallic shards appear in the vat? Has to come from somewhere. Was thrown into the vat. The metal object was thrown into the vat. Whatever that object was, it probably dissolved into the shards that Orm found. What should the magical liquid have done to the object? It was destructive enough to reduce an entire human body to a few shards of bone. So the vat liquid should have completely destroyed the metal object. We shouldn't have found any metal shards in the first place, but we did find them. How do you explain that? That night something happened that prevented the metal object from being fully destroyed. The vat liquid was neutralized shortly after the accident was reported. When Esther Morrison reported the accident, the workers immediately neutralized the liquid's magic. They did this to attempt to save Justin, but it would have also stopped the liquid from destroying anything else within the vat. Whatever that metal object was, it was only partially destroyed. That means that it fell to the vat around the time that Justin fell into the vat. Whatever that object was, it was probably as large as Justin. What is that? A large unknown metal object fell into the vat around the time that Justin Wave fell into. The magical liquid reduced it to several small metallic shards. If that person even exists. I feel like it's not even a person, it could just purely be that metallic shard. Oh, there we are. You mentioned that you found several metallic shards in the vat. Do you mind if we take a look at them? Just don't get any bright ideas about taking anything. You also want to avoid touching them with your bare hands. The liquid is neutralized, but it definitely ain't good for your skin. That many? Ugh. The shards are only the size of small rocks and it's difficult to find any discernible features. Oh, I thought they were gonna make us like put it back together, you know? I think I found something. Unlike the other shards, this one looks far less damaged. The engraving on it looks like some sort of crest. That's the crest of House Von Sanctus. Oh, and the mystery deepens. Is that the right thing to say? Ow. Well, I doubt that Lord Von Sanctus was the second victim. Do you know who would have a house emblem like this? Normally only the Lord's retainers would have the emblems of his house. Do you think one of Von Sanctus's retainers fell into the vat? The only way to know for sure would be to ask him ourselves, but even if we could talk to him, he would never cooperate. He glanced at the prince. Someone of his station would have no trouble meeting with Lord Von Sanctus. An idea begins to form in your mind, unless... Esther, do you think you could help us interrogate Lord Von Sanctus? Oh, what a way to manipulate the Crown Prince, eh? In this instance, it would be very difficult to speak to him by ourselves, but as the Crown Prince, he'd be much more inclined to speak with you. You might be overplaying your hand by utilizing Esther this way. You're still wary of the prince, especially since he was one of the few mages at the scene. It's not ideal, but he's the only lead we have so far. But it still bothers you. Why haven't you found any bone matter from a second person? Maybe you're overthinking it. You should pursue every lead and see where it takes you. Yep, let's find where that person is. Very easily in the manor. Be more appropriate to call this building a palace rather than a house. What's that smell? You're hit with a very pungent and sour odor. Almost burns the interior of your nostrils every time you inhale. Looks like Lord Santa's isn't home at the moment. Perhaps you should try looking somewhere else. I guess we're going to the cafe for now. Rika, are you here? Closed for today. If it's not here, not there, town square then. There we are. We mustn't let such idealistic notions throw our nation into chaos. You arrive at the town square and see Lord Von Sanctus speaking to several spectators from a podium. He appears to be giving some sort of speech. You do your best to remain hidden from his view while you listen in. Please understand, the actions of the nobility seem callous. However, we only have your best interest at heart. This controversy with the Dracogen Trading Company is just one of the many examples. These so-called unions that men like him support may seem appealing, but they only obfuscate and hinder the nobility from protecting the working class. Men like Stefanik Dracogen are merely charlatans. They only seek a financial gain by strong-arming your true benefactors. What a joke. I knew that Von Sanctus was wary of Dracogen, but I've never expected him to be this zealous about getting rid of him. I think it's less about Dracogen specifically and more about what he represents. The Dracogen Trading Company has presented tangible proof that its policies are both effective and profitable. Even businesses that have no affiliation with him have started following his example. Von Sanctus is merely a relic of the past, and I think he knows that his archaic ideals won't survive in this landscape. I can only hope that our grand kingdom recognizes this danger as I have. You're right, the pompous noble leaves the podium as the citizens ponder his words. What a load of garbage. It's obvious that Von Sanctus knows his days are numbered. But look at what happened. We let the common folk set their own standards and a young man died. I guess you have a point there. No! You saw Von Sanctus get into a carriage shortly after his speech. He appears to be heading back to his manor. Well, I guess we should catch him in his manor now. You saw Von Sanctus heading back here. We should be able to speak with him soon. Isn't he going to recognize us? We can't really avoid that. If we want to question him, we need to speak to him directly. But even a noble like him would have to act civilly with the crown prince present. You mean like how you civilly embarrassed and insulted him a few days ago? Right, we completely forgot. Well, it's not as if we can hide our identities from him. I faced him in the chess tournament and I'm Dracogen's attorney. He knows what we look like. What we look like? That's it. That's quite impressive. Oh, I think you should see for yourself. Why do I look like Reese Rudolph? You look great, right? Ares taught that one to me. Do you honestly expect him to fall for this? He's probably a powerful mage who'll see right through this. Are you telling me that the Crown Prince is here? Why didn't you notify me sooner? He seems to be quickly heading this way. Uh-oh, here we go. Hurry up, let's go. She's gonna do Prosecutor Stewie, isn't she? I knew it. I didn't hear anything either. You must be mad to me. Why am I not surprised? Skilled Lord, help us. Of all the people she could have chosen, at least she's able to mimic her voice well enough. Well, I do not answer to you. I shall do as I please. Yes, I suppose you have a habit of doing that. Surprisingly, it doesn't look like he's seen through your disguises. He must have other things on his mind if his guard is down like this. Anyways, Lord Von Sanctus, pardon the abrupt intrusion. I came by to pay my respects. I'm quite busy with administrative matters at the moment. Too busy to show hospitality to the heir to the throne. I suppose I have some time to speak with you. The conditions aren't ideal, but at least you have Von Sanctus here with you. You should let Prince Aster make small talk with him for a bit. After that, you can subtly bring up the Von Sanctus crest you have found in the vat. Let's go. I heard about the charges that you've brought against Dracogen Trading Company. Forgive my bluntness, but is everything well within your estate? Simply cleaning house, nothing more. I've dealt with plenty of men like Dracogen before, and this time will be no different. I understand that he may be taking business away from you, but does that really warrant you taking such drastic measures? It's not just about his business, it's these ideas that he's putting into people's heads. He's allowed these unions to continue existing, and other businesses are following his example. It's absolutely absurd. It's as if the entire world has gone mad. I see. Our society only functions when the lower class knows their place. Oof. So says a nobleman. If that's how our society functions, then perhaps it is flawed. You're still young, Prince Aster. These righteous ideals may sound appealing, but they are a path to disorder. Common folk do not care about the well-being of our kingdom as a whole. They only care about themselves individually. If we allow them to become empowered, they will use that power selfishly. It is up to the upper class to maintain order. He's definitely not happy about that statement. I'm surprised that you're representing Lord Von Sanctus, Lady Steelwind. Oh right. I knew that you recently became a prosecutor, but I never imagined that you'd represent a noble. Don't get ahead of yourself, Aster. What does that even mean? Let's not be coy. If you must know, Your Majesty, how Steelwind and I came to an arrangement. The fair lady is so keen on wasting her talents on civil work, given that I might as well utilize her to my benefit. Uh-oh. I meant no disrespect, but rest assured this is only temporary. So you have an arrangement with Lucio Steelwind. By the way, Lord Von Sanctus, have any of your attendants gone missing lately? That's an oddly specific question. But no, all of my attendants are accounted for. They could be unconsciously shielding himself from it. You see, I actually found a discarded trinket while walking around the city. It had a crest of House Von Sanctus on it. I was worried that something unsavory might have happened to one of your people. I see. However, items within the Von Sanctus crest are quite common nowadays. The item you found must have been a product produced by Von Sanctus Industries. Not just some, it's probably all. It's engraved on every product created by Von Sanctus Industries. People have come to associate the quality of our products with the quality of House Von Sanctus, or at least they did, until hacks like Dracogen came out of the woodwork. In other words, branding. What type of products does Von Sanctus Industries produce? Magical accessories for mages? All manner of products. As the head commerce in our kingdom, we've diversified our holdings. That means the metal shard could have come from anything. That's right. Seems this line of questioning is led to a dead end. Is it really impossible to identify where the shard came from? Do you sell your products to the Dracogen Trading Company? Ah, that's a very smart line of questioning. It'd be foolish of me if I didn't do business with him. That means that there are Von Sanctus products in the Arcane refinery. Some sort of industrial tool. Tinge of nervousness through the eye? Does he know something? Why would he get so defensive over a question like that? Was there a Von Sanctus product in the refinery on the night of the murder? Aha. But that is revoking a reaction. I'm not paying for that. I require assistance. Acknowledged. Is he some sort of clean freak? Von Sanctus Industries is an inventor of arcane constructs. Right. My apologies, I'm not very interested in using artificial. Lady Steelwind must be taking her leave now. He said you could only accompany me for 1 hour. It's close to being 1 hour. Alright, 1 hour. In the meantime, may I discuss some personal matters with you? It appears he didn't come here just to help you, but you suppose that you've gotten all the information you need out of Von Sanctus. It's time to move on. Yeah, that was a bit too close for comfort. At least no one saw through our disguises. Oh. Uh-oh, the real Arya Steelwind walks to the front door to the manor just as you are about to exit. She immediately stops in the tracks upon meeting her doppelganger. Must be awkward. With one spell, Steelwind dispels the illusion over you and Celeste. Upon seeing who you really are, she lets out an irritated sigh. Is impersonating the Steelwind some kind of hobby for you, Miss McCoy? Oh, she doesn't look too pleased. Let me guess, you wanted to interrogate Von Sanctus without him knowing who you really were. No. Lying about your name is one matter, but impersonating a noble using magic is a serious crime. You quickly try to think of a way to defuse the situation. Sorry for the wait, you two. I had to discuss. Oh, damn. Knowing that he was part of this will just make things worse. Nah, she actually has good feelings for him. You knew about this? For better or for worse, her attention is firmly focused on him. I'm terribly sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you. Just like a young girl in love. You put this ruse under my orders. Could you please look the other way just this once? Okay. Thank you, Lady Steelwind, I won't forget this. That was certainly something. I'm sorry you two had to see that. My brother, you're so misreading the situation here. She does not detest you. In any case, we're starting to run out of time. We should head back to the refinery. I don't think we can find out exactly where it came from. If each of the Von Sanctus products has that crest, it would be any number of things. Dracogen can help us narrow that list down. If it did come from some kind of industrial tool, he might be able to check if any of the refinery's tools are missing. Let's go back to the refinery then. Well, you take time to explain to Dracogen what you found during your investigation. You're still uncertain about the identity of the second victim. Honestly, I don't think there's a second victim, but more so of like something metal, right, that drops in after Justin dropped in. Do you have any tools that you've purchased from Von Sanctus Industries? I haven't purchased the security system for the refinery building from him. Arcane constructs. He told me I could be the first person in RNX to own such innovative technology. I don't feel comfortable trusting machines to handle the work here. These constructs require very specific instructions and they lack common sense. He heavily emphasized how exclusive this deal will be for me. He was probably trying to make me dependent on his services. Von Sanctus personally sold several industrial tools to Stephanic Dracogen on behalf of Von Sanctus Industries. A lot of these tools were present in the Arcane refinery. Von Sanctus Industries also created a security system for the refinery. Von Sanctus attempted to sell Dracogen a few Arcane constructs, a product that is not available to anyone else in Orinax. However, Stephanic Dracogen did not trust the construct's ability to perform tasks effectively. He did not purchase any. The Inquisition actually asked me the same question, so I took some time today to check my inventory. There was one tool that was unaccounted for. A rod of mending. It's a large tool that we use to repair damage on the machines. It's called a rod, but it's more of a large cylindrical tool. Requires two people to properly carry and use it. A tool like that will use transmutation magic, right? That's right. What if the rod of mending was the thing that weakened the guardrail? That is possible. Now that you mention it, I recall there being a way to reverse its effects. You've never considered that the transmutation traces were left by an artificial tool. That does leave some suspicion of Esther. Channels transportation magic to repair objects. It's possible to reverse its magic and cause it to weaken objects instead of repairing them. It's quite large and requires 2 people to properly carry it. Someone could have sabotaged the rail with a rod and thrown it into the vat to cover their tracks, but it didn't completely dissolve. That would mean that they threw the rod in close to when Justin fell off the walkway. Can't be a coincidence that these two events happened so close to each other. And we still have no idea who actually broke the guardrail. I feel as if we have more questions than answers at the moment. We've learned a few new facts about the case, and the Inquisition has verified the traces of transmutation on the guardrail. The burden of proof is still on the prosecution to prove that Dracogen is at fault. Even if Tyrion has a proper explanation for that, I can counter her with the facts we've learned thus far. Well, knowing that would just needlessly stress him out. Alright. We just hope that you don't encounter any more curveballs tomorrow. Alright. I'm gonna take a short break. I'll be right back. We'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, we are back. Sorry about that, just had to get some things done. Anyway, did I save it? Anyway, we're gonna save it and continue. Back to trial. Will that require another round of investigations? I hope not. Let us review the proceedings from 2 days ago. Victim Justin Wei put his weight on a poorly maintained guardrail on the refinery grounds. Said guardrail broke, costing Justin Wei to fall to his death. However, the defense presented a shocking piece of evidence in the previous proceedings. Traces of transmutation magic were found on the same broken guardrail. This new evidence implies that sabotage, if not outright foul play, played a part in the death of the victim. This evidence is also accompanied by conflicting testimonies from witnesses. All of these elements have thrown quite some doubt on the validity of the prosecution's case. However, the prosecution maintains that the Dracogen Trading Company is at fault for Justin Wei's death, even though someone may have sabotaged the guardrails. The prosecution acknowledges that sabotage may have occurred at the scene of the accident. However, we also believe that there are several factors in this case that the court is overlooking. Several witnesses were present at the refinery at the time of the accident. The harbour master was showing a patron around the refinery. Mozarika Tudo was making a food delivery and entered the building. And of course, the victim, Justin Wei, was obviously present as well. Each and every one of these people had no business being in the refinery that night. In the case of the harbour master and his patron, it was hardly reasonable for anyone to stop them. That may be, but Justin Wei worked in the freight division and should not have been at sea. I've already verified this with my client. The victim was not authorized to be in the refinery building. And who stopped Justin Wei from entering the area unauthorized? Isn't it the defendant's duty to prevent such individuals from entering the building? My client can't be held responsible for Justin's breach of the set protocols, and you surely can't hold my client responsible for someone sabotaging the guardrail. This so-called sabotage is only theoretical until a proper culprit is found. There's no hard evidence that proves the traces of transmutation were left by a specific spell. What kind of mental gymnastics is that? Every part of the guardrail that had traces on it was rusted, depending the context of what happened to suit their purpose. Hard evidence means everything here, and the rod of mending has been reduced to shards in effect. Without the complete rod, you can't prove that someone used it to sabotage the guardrail. Regardless, it is not the responsibility of the Dracogen Trading Company to ensure that its employees do not wander into the restricted areas. Blaming a potential saboteur puts the cart before the horse. That's also a bit tricky to put, don't you think? Doesn't stop Justin Wei either. Why was Mozarika Tudor able to enter the building? She doesn't even work for the refinery, yet she was able to waltz into the building without any trouble. Tyrion does have a point. Shouldn't something have stopped her from entering the area? You doubt that Dracogen will show that kind of negligence. Let's hear how easily she gained access to the refinery on the day of the accident. Very well then. I feel like it has something to do with the security system that Von Sanctus Industries put into the refinery. I heard everything from the gallery. Did you encounter resistance when you entered the refinery the night of the accident? May I remind you that you are under oath to tell the court everything that you know. Failure to do so is a crime. Come on, out with it. No one tried to stop me. The only one at fault is the Dracogen Trading Company and the negligence. Please testify in detail about how you entered the refinery that day. Alright, let's go. Let's see what actually happens. That day, I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but I couldn't find him. I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. There was some kind of magic door leading to it, but it was unlocked. Nothing really stopped me from entering the refinery building. A magical door leading to the building. It's obvious some sort of security door powered by that fishery, which is still unlocked and effectively useless. Okay, let's press on every statement first to see. You were there to deliver his dinner. I was surprised when I didn't see him there. I was a little worried. Seems strange that you go looking for him. Why not just leave his food with one of his co-workers? I also wanted to make sure that he was okay. I was the one that helped him get this job in the first place. It wouldn't look good if he left in the middle of a shift. There was some kind of magical door leading to it. I have a door like it in my restaurant too, but this one looked a lot more complex. The one in my cafe magically locks the shop when I close it for the day. I guess the door to the refinery building was for the same thing. That means that there was a mechanism to keep out unauthorized personnel. The witness entered the refinery and encountered zero resistance. The Inquisition has really locked the specs for the door. Okay, let's see. The only entrance to the refining building is a door with an artificial lock. Magical keys can be used to unlock the door for 5 seconds. After these 5 seconds, the lock automatically closes the door and engages the lock. The lock can only be disabled by Stephanic Dracogen. The door could be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm within the refinery security system. I guess Mr. Dracogen kept the door unlocked during work hours. That's not a good statement to put it. Unless you can prove that another person disabled that door. Let's please add that last statement to your testimony. Let's see.
Objection!
No. I thought that would prove that, you know, Von Sanctus was, or at least Von Sanctus Industries made the thing. Like, they made the door so that they would have ways to unlock the door. Someone did something to bypass that. Okay, let's see. This?
Objection!
You claim that a client expressed negligence by disabling the door. That's correct. Regardless of any sabotage, Justin Wade died because he was in said unauthorized area. What if I told you that another person may have disabled the door? Not because of laziness, but for more nefarious purposes. The witness entered the refinery building and spotted Justin Wade afterward. This means that Justin Wade entered the building before her, so that begs the question, how did Justin Wade enter the building? Nope. Since this trial began, we still haven't answered why Justin Wade entered the refinery building in the first place. He entered the refinery building with the intent of robbing the client's personal safe. Dun dun dun. We feel a little guilty about insulting a dead man's name like this, but it's the only possibility that makes sense. The truth is that he was deeply in debt to a crime lord named the Eye Beggar, and he was extremely desperate to wipe that debt as soon as he could. Uh-oh. This Tyrion, Justin owned a set of tools that he used for picking mundane and magical locks. The safe that he was planning to rob was located in my client's office within the refinery building. I have witnesses who saw Justin retrieve those tools shortly before the night of the accident. He clearly had a plan to disable any locks that stood between him and that safe. This means that it's entirely possible that Justin disabled the locked refinery door illegally. kind of bluffing. You basically assaulted one of them. What do you mean we both assaulted him? Hold on a minute. You can't just accuse him like that when he can't defend himself. I'm sorry, but his delinquent friends told me about his plan. He didn't want to rob Dracogen, but he needed the gold to wipe away his debt. If Justin wasn't the one that disabled the lock, that would only leave Dracogen. She definitely believes in Justin, but a scenario where both Justin and Dracogen are innocent is too optimistic, if not impossible. It's not as if you're entirely certain of what actually happened that day either. You knew Justin better than I did. Let's assume you're correct. Neither Justin nor Dracogen disabled the locks that day. How did either of you enter the refinery? Another testimony. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it, but there was also that nobleman who was with Mr. Morrison, his mage, and he could have used magic to do it. No! It could have been one of the maintenance constructs. I saw one working on the machines. Maybe one of them broke the lock. Will Mr. Cuthbert's theory make more sense than your list of suspects? No matter how many suspects she presents, none of them had the credentials to disable the lock. If nothing substantial is gained from your cause of examination, I will not hesitate to end it early. It's definitely something to do with the, where is it? The constructs. He did say he didn't get any constructs. There you go.
Objection!
Are you sure that it was an arcane construct? They're not available to the public. When you saw this arcane construct, what was it doing? Doing maintenance on the machines. Oh, we're getting close. We're getting... well, this is one step further to finding out who is the true murderer. A construct at Arcane Refinery will only take orders from the administrator, Stephanic Dracogen. But arcane constructs are extremely rare and not available to the general public. Furthermore, they're only produced and sold by Von Sanctus Industries. He personally sold several products to the Dracogen Trading Company. However, when offered the opportunity, my client turned him down. My client disliked the construct's flawed intelligence, and he didn't want them working in the refinery. He turned down Lord Von Sanctus's offer in favor of utilizing human labor. Exactly. If my client did not own any constructs, why did the witness see one there? Or to phrase this question differently, who sent that construct there? Who? First, let's consider the rarity of arcane constructs. They're highly experimental and not available to the public yet. With all of these elements in mind, only one person in the city of Oronex could have done this. I do, Miss Tyrion. Few individuals had access to the arcane construct, and even fewer had the ability to disable the locked door without alerting security system. We know who it is. Bad. Only one individual could have done everything that I described. Lloyd Von Sanctus, the noble lord of Oronex. Yes, I am. What possible reason would I have to do that? He was working on the machines. If the construct was sent by Von Sanctus, it didn't actually work for Dracogen. Wait, what does that mean? I don't get it. When you saw the construct in the refinery, was it carrying anything? Oh, there we are. It was carrying a large cylindrical machine that would normally need to be held by 2 people. It all makes sense now. Von Sanctus has been far too aggressive in pushing these charges. It wasn't because he was desperate. It was because he needed to cover up what actually happened. You see, Your Honor, the tool that the witness saw this construct carrying wasn't just any tool. It was a rod of mending, an artificial tool that channels transmutation magic. Magic that could be used to weaken and sabotage parts of the refinery. Your Honor, Lloyd Von Sanctus sent a construct into the Arcane Refinery to sabotage it. In other words, Lloyd Von Sanctus is responsible for the guardrail breaking. Ooh, here we go. Facing up against the nobleman. Such a sleazy looking one at that. The judge really needs to stop these guys from just barging onto the stand. To be fair, who's gonna stop a noble from a pillar family? Seems like we're going after every single pillar family. You will do it to me directly. Please, do you think I'm like that fool Pierce? The defense theory is laughable, and I have several pieces of evidence that can easily prove my innocence. He has a good poker face, but the eye is telling you that he's a little desperate. Very well, if the defense wishes to accuse you, I see no harm in allowing you to defend yourself. The court would very much like to hear your testimony on the matter. Not a good idea. We will always break. It's possible to order a construct to complete a complex list of tasks, but doing so is ill-advised. I'm sure you observed this with the Nightgrave trial. Constructs are extremely prone to error when completing a long list of tasks. According to the defense, the saboteur stole a rod of mending and used it to sabotage very specific sections of the refinery. I would never trust a construct to discreetly complete such an intricate set of tasks unsupervised, and before you ask, I was miles away from the refinery at the time of the accident. I have several associates who can confirm this alibi. Therefore, I have no way of observing this construct from afar, nor did I have any way to communicate with it. No, we know how he communicates with it. How did he count for the... Artificial can only do so much. But our magic is still not advanced enough to replicate the common sense of a living creature. You may need to supervise them if you give them complex tasks. As the chairman of Von Sanctus Industries, you have resources and know how to use it in such a way. Maybe I could use this, you think?
Objection!
No. Yikes. Okay, I thought using that spell. Okay, let's press some more. I won't go into detail about what we discussed, but the King's Guard, City Watch, Arcane Inquisition, and myself were present. We can all confirm that he was present at the meeting. Although his behavior was quite erratic that day. Guess we have to press some more. You could have one of your servants don the construct as a disguise. Furthermore, the supposed construct would have needed to carry and use a rod of mending. I have many capable servants, but none of them have superhuman strength. Yep, we got it. This one. So we'll just do the spell.
Objection!
You testify that there's no way for you to observe and communicate with the construct. But it's not as airtight as you might think. Uh-oh, he's getting close to being found out. Absent in mind, so his attention wasn't focused on the meeting, which means that his attention was somewhere else. What would that be? Are you able to cast a send message spell? Yep. Your client may have been physically at the meeting, but his attention was somewhere else, wasn't it? He could have used a combination of spells to view the construct during the meeting, and he could have used send message spell to communicate with it over a large distance. If my claim is truly false, your client should have no trouble disproving it with his spell compendium. Can I assume that you do know how to cast send message? If so, that will punch a gigantic hole in your alibi. I need her to cover for me. Yeah. I'm afraid that I can't say that lot for Sanctus. I did find it odd. Your attention appeared to be somewhere else, despite the gravity of our discussion, and I seem to recall you speaking under your breath the entire time. I had always just assumed that you were muttering obscenities, but Mr. Cuthbert's explanation does seem possible. Aren't you obligated to defend me? What's this deal? Are you able to cast a send message spell? I am able to send it. Or cast it, sorry. You have him right where you want him. Now is our opportunity to deal the final blow. Why do you feel so uneasy? There are still 2 details that don't sit well with you. Please enlighten us. How can both the testimonies be true? But the person that Miss Tudor saw and the person that Mr. Morrison saw were 2 different people. But not having an explanation for Esther Morrison's testimony still irks you. Again, the eye. But it's easily, it could be easily thought that the second person could be the construct, right? Because then you're just left with the metal shards that comes from the construct's shell, per se. Right? That shouldn't be too hard. Clearly intend to use it against me. Could have communicated with the construct in a meeting. By that logic, I could be the mastermind behind every crime. Let me see. This. You of all people should know that arcane constructs are not available to the public. When you attempted to sell these constructs to Dragon, you promised him that he would be the first merchant in Oranax that would own one. Since he refused your offer, that would leave you as the only owner of arcane constructs. So you're saying that you lied to my client? I sold constructs to plenty of other individuals. Use claims that contradict the emotion, thoughts. I find that hard to believe. After the Nightgrave trial, you must have been a lot more fearful about who you sold your constructs to. You only tried to sell your constructs to Dracogen so that you could control him. You wouldn't have done that otherwise. How do I prove it? Oh. Show us any invoice that proves you made a sale to someone. Haha! Who says the saboteur leaving Oranax? Are you serious? Any one of my customers could have secretly entered the city to carry out the sabotage. Someone who secretly entered Oranax. Well, this is what happens. The Kings got locked down the city on the day of the accident. No one except for a select few individuals could have left or entered the city, and due to the gravity of the situation, the King's Guard created profiles of everyone within the city. Why don't we cross-reference the records taken by the King's Guard with the list of individuals you sold constructs to? But I suppose from your reaction that list will come up empty. So why don't you admit to your crimes? Or do I have to drag the evidence into court? Of course, how could I forget? Bringing your so-called evidence. I don't know where this confidence is coming from, but we can easily detect the traces of divination and transmutation on the constructs you own. That's right, if he used the construct to commit a crime, he would have definitely disposed of it. No, the construct dropped in the vat. The vat of chemicals. Without the actual construct, all you have are several unreliable witnesses. Damn. If you could just find out where he disposed of the evidence, you might be able to direct the Inquisition there. No, don't use it. The Eye of Horus is a powerful tool. Never grow. One day you'll find a witness that the empowered eye won't work on. You've been relying on the empowered eye too much. From the silence... No, come on! No, you are guilty. Come on. I know what evidence, let me present it. That look on your face, are you seriously giving up? Seriously? There's always a way. Do something different, come on. Where I've always been able to rely on deductive reasoning. I'm not quite done with you yet. He's the last person you want to hear that from. Calm your mind and focus. You may not be able to read on Sanctus's mind, but you can still extrapolate his plans and actions. If you wanted to use a construct, you have needed to maintain constant communication, so to prove that this communication occurred, you need something that connects you to it. Which piece of evidence would connect the murder to Von Sanctus? Okay. The object that what piece of evidence would connect the murder to Von Sanctus? The object that... Yep, an arcane construct isn't a person, so you must have used an object to attune to your magic to communicate. If you were able to find the object, would that tie your client to the sabotage? If I did perform these acts, the remains would be anyone. Not so sure about that. Let's look at things from your perspective. Why would you do the things that you did that day? Knowing that will point us to where you ultimately hit the construct. Your intention was to sabotage the refinery without anyone finding out what you did. So how would you dispose of the construct and the attuned item? Destroy. The evidence was thrown into the vat of volatile liquid. Suppose that makes sense. You found the remnants of the rod of mending in there. That's not necessarily true. You threw the rod of mending to the vat and that didn't fully dissolve. The workers neutralized the liquid immediately after Justin fell into the vat. Unlike you, my client values the lives of his workers over his profits. And because of that, Inquisition was able to find pieces of bone matter and metal within the vat. Wait, the rod didn't fully dissolve. This means that it was thrown into the vat around the same time that Justin fell into it. You wouldn't have thrown the rod into the vat until after you were done with the sabotage. If you wanted to destroy the rod, you would have destroyed all of the evidence that you needed to get rid of. The Arcane Construct. I told you before, didn't I? I will defend you to the best of my ability, but I will not fabricate an alibi for you. You must have ordered the construct to throw itself into the vat to hide any traces of his sabotage. There we are, a machine resembling a human threw itself into the vat. This means that anyone looking at the walkway would have seen this. That's it. The Arcane Construct was the second person that Aston Morrison saw fall into the vat. That's why we didn't find organic matter from anyone other than Justin. The second body that Aston Morrison saw was actually an Arcane Construct. Got it. Mika was sure that she saw Justin fall off the walkway. After she notified Aston Morrison, they saw the construct break the guardrail and fall into the vat. Wait, wouldn't that mean that the construct disposed of itself after Justin Ray fell off the walkway? Why would you order it to do that? No, you don't need it. If he was observing the construct using magic, he must have seen Justin fall, and for some reason he reacted by sabotaging the guardrail. Unless he did all of this because he saw Justin fall. Von Sanctus wanted Justin's death to look like an accident. Which means that it wasn't actually an accident. But those constructs do have a habit of shoving people that are in their way. What if the construct pushed Justin out of the way, causing him to fall over the edge of the guardrail? Haha! Just walk past him. Oh no. It may have been unintentional, but either way you would have been at fault for Justin's death. And if the construct fell in after Justin, your attuned object must be somewhere in the neutralized liquid. Constructs are made from specific magical alloy. So with a few divination spells, we can identify the metal shards from the construct and your arcane focus. Each and every one of those pieces of evidence points directly at you, Von Santos. You petulant little upstart. We got him. Second checkmate. Now, admit to what you did. And while you're at it, drop your false allegations against my client. Of course not. You're completely blameless, right? Dissidents like you and Dracogen are absolutely deluded. Each and every breath you take only throws Wyvern further into chaos. You talk about these commoners as if they have even a fraction of the power that you have. You need to see reason. They lack awareness of the power they truly have. What? These people have infected you and His Majesty with these idealistic delusions. I implore both of you to see reality for what it is. No, Von Sanctus, the true reality is that people like you become threatened when you challenge your power. You all speak about the rights of the individual. You speak as if each and every one of you wouldn't stab each other in the back the moment that it benefited yourselves. You may hate the nobility, you may curse, scream and blame us for all of your little problems. But the truth is that you need us. You need us to direct and lead you. You need us to maintain the fragile order that holds your peaceful little lives together. You talk about protecting the common folk from themselves. But the truth is that your actions led to the death of an innocent man. That is the only truth that matters. But what about the debt and all that? The defense has no further questions for the witness. He is dismissed. So, he's guilty, right? Yeah. But I feel like we're missing something about the eye taker, or would that person come into play in the next few cases? Probably won't even reach that point. I advise Lord Von Sanctus to drop the suit entirely. Word has already spread regarding the evidence that you brought forward. At this point, prolonging the trial would just harm his public image even more. I'll probably be forced to recuse myself from any charges brought against him. What? It's because you represented him in the suit. Have you considered a conflict of interest to prosecute him yourself? Even though you're probably the only prosecutor that will convict him successfully. As the head of one of the Pillar families, he has the justice system dancing in the palm of his hand. He'll definitely be quietly and swiftly acquitted. I would have never agreed to represent him if I had known about this. Damn it, he must have had this plan all along. I wouldn't be so sure about that. Dracogen. He may be acquitted in the legal sense, but the court of public opinion is a different thing entirely. He brought forward a myriad of evidence against him, and I'm sure everyone in the gallery saw it too. Von Sanctus's power relies on his public image, and he quite handily tore down that facade. He may walk free, but his power and ideals have taken a great blow. Is that seriously all we can do? His actions and recklessness resulted in the death of Justin Bay. He should be punished within the letter of the law. You're not wrong, Mr. Cuthbert, but sometimes we must take the victories that we can get. She's probably right, but there's still one thing that's nagging at me. Why was your safe unlocked if nothing was stolen? If Justin had gotten into your safe, he would have taken your gold with him. It wouldn't still be there. Considering that nothing is missing, I'd rather leave it at that. Justin was a good man. I'd rather not taint anyone's memory of him, especially Mozarika's. She was pretty upset about your accusations. No harm was done in that regard. I suppose so. But I can't help but wonder what actually happened. I'm probably sure. We are done with case 3. Alright. I knew it. It's this person, this character. Makes no damn sense to me. The kid successfully robbed the guy days ago. No one saw him, no one even suspected him. And then he breaks into the place again? He put it back. Does this make any sense to you, Iris? Perhaps he felt remorse for his actions. Father? There's a sense of tragic beauty to it all. If he had never tried to do the right thing, he would have never encountered the construct in the first place. He would have paid his debt, and he would still have his life. It's true what they say, no good deed goes unpunished. Oh, it's a shame about the gold. I think we've more than made a profit today. A profit? I for one am happy to have claimed a boatload of teeth today. It was her. Well, as much as that ending was even more mysterious than the last, we are going to call it a night here. Thank you for joining me for case 3. In the next stream, we will continue with case 4, and we will complete the series at case 5. Thank you for joining me today. I hope your day has been well. I hope you've enjoyed the stream today, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Wherever you are, have a good day ahead. See ya.